maybe if you can just let us know what you're working on and why you join. That's we are very glad that you've been able to make it. So, and I'm working in the background on this streaming stuff. Okay, can you tell us more a little bit about you?
Hi, hello. Am I audible? Sorry, I forgot to unmute.
That's okay. I think we can hear us now. That's cool.
Done. Thanks. So like I am Harshvardhan, and like I have talked many times with Laurent on Discord for the like contributing stuff and all the stuff on Microcks. And like I'm true diehard Java fan, and like so I'm trying to contribute the Java projects like on which I can do with contribute with my knowledges, and for that matter I'm trying to contribute to Microcks, and also like I am enthusiastic about the cloud native technologies and the role of Java in cloud native technologies. So like the Microcks is best fit for my interest, and so like I'm trying to contribute more to Microcks.
Cool.
Cool. Very nice.
And are you using it on a daily basis or
Yeah, like
not at the moment?
currently I'm trying to like spread it with some friends and all of that stuff like who are basically doing the front end stuff, and like they can mock the APIs, and then by testing their API calls by the mocking Microcks APIs and all that stuff.
Okay, awesome. Cool. Cool. And where are you based exactly? You're in Bengaluru or
No,
on another city?
I'm currently I'm living in Bhavnagar, Gujarat, which is a state of India, and like
Okay.
I just completed my Google Summer of Code in September, and like and now I'm trying to like applying for the jobs and all this stuff. And so like like last previous 2 weeks I'm busy with this OS and all this stuff. So like I'm not more active during that the period of time.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So Yassine, let us know if we
No,
made
but
any progress.
keep going, Laurent. I think we
maybe
have a few stuff to share regarding the
Okay.
agenda and maybe some information on new release. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to launch a live stream, unfortunately, this morning. So let's keep going. And
Okay, but at least
it's
I think
recording
the
in
Zoom
any
call
case.
is recorded. Okay, so we can
It
put
is.
it just after on the YouTube channel and whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So the agenda today, I think it was could be nice to talk about the latest release, that is the 1.10.1, a release we've done just last week. Did not announce it yet, but because the communication agenda, the communication schedule is pretty packed, as we will recall you just after. But yeah, it could be nice to have just a walk around, a walk through the different changes in this new release. So let me share my screen. Maybe we can start from the release notes on GitHub and just have a walkthrough. Okay, so I want to share this browser window. Okay. Let me know if you can see it. Is it okay?
Yeah, can see it on my side.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So 1.10.1, so 2 months after the 1.10.0, with a lot of improvements, enhancements, also bug fixes that have been done during the summer. And yeah, different things to highlight in this release. The first one I wanted to stop on was all the things related to gRPC, because we have adopters doing crazy things with gRPC, and so we realized that there was some kind of let's say leaks in our implementations. So there is a tons of enhancements regarding gRPC. For example, now we are able to support the enum type in gRPC. This was something that was not correctly done before. So typically there was a serialization error. So when you were dealing with enum reference, and it's no longer the case. So that's cool. We have the same kind of issues regarding also the any type in gRPC. So any type is a special kind of type that is serialized with two information, a type information and a value information. And so the serialization, deserialization is done in two different steps. And here again, we had some issues regarding how to track actual types of any member. So this has been fixed in this release, and you are now able to deal with APIs that run with any type. Looking at gRPC again, yes, something very convenient is that we added a small button on the UI that allows you also to have the gRPC curl command directly from the UI. So we had this button for the REST APIs, allowing us to generate a curl command directly from the UI. And we had the same thing for the gRPC stuff. So pretty convenient directly on the UI. And if I remember correctly, yes, there is another one, a very interesting one also. Let me check it. I think it's about protobuf exactly. Yes, this one is very important. And it allows to have a recursive resolution of dependencies when you are importing a protobuf file. So typically, this is something we already have in the other protocols. For example, if you want to import an OpenAPI file that contains references to a JSON file that contains references to JSON files and so on and so forth, this is already handled by Microcks, but this was not yet implemented for gRPC and protobuf. So we did this stuff on protobuf. So now you can have very, very complex protobuffer files, of course, using enum style, using any types, and now using this very deep resolution, dependency resolution mechanism. So pretty nice. So aside the gRPC, we've done several enhancements on the GraphQL side also as well. So typically, this one was made by you, Arsh. It's about having schema introspection. If you want to say a word on it.
So like basically in the native image schema introspection was not working properly. Like there are some issues with some the properties which are not including in the native images. So like it tried this PR tries to fix those properties to take properly in a native image, and then it will work with the schema introspection in native image.
Yeah, excellent. And this one allows us to have a really nice demonstration during a GraphQL meetup, because we wanted to demonstrate how the native distribution of Microcks can be used on a developer laptop, can start very quickly, and can offer an elegant way of mocking all your dependencies when you're dealing with GraphQL Federation. So pretty nice we have this one. Talking about GraphQL, I think we have also some other enhancements. So typically, yes, the type name introspection was not yet supported. So we had the introspection that was working at the schema level, but not at the specific type levels. And so this one could be also of importance when we're dealing with federation, because federation gateway in GraphQL most of the time are invoking the introspection endpoints in GraphQL backends to get some more information on schema. So this one was also important. And the third one we had about GraphQL was one that is related to also federation. Let me check. Where is it? Yes, this one. When you are using composite queries in GraphQL, of course, you are reaggregating different responses coming from different endpoints. But if those mock endpoints are specifying their content length, you have a mismatch between the content length of this single element within an aggregation, and so it makes things bad. So we removed the content length sender in that case, a specific case, to recompute dynamic content length for the aggregated result of GraphQL request. So pretty nice also. Let me check. I wanted also to, yes, have a specific discussion about one that is very important. Let me check where it is. Yes, this one. Okay. The ability to have an artifact, a default artifact repository address as a configuration for dependency resolution. Let me explain. So as of today, I've prepared this. You can either upload artifacts to Microcks or use an API call to push an artifact to Microcks. You can also obviously use the CLI to push this artifact to Microcks. So this is very convenient when you're developing on your laptop and when you're integrating with your CI. But the problem of this is that if you have a complex artifact that is embedding references to external files, you don't have this ability then to access the files. Okay. You can do this when Microcks is actually polling the artifacts because it has a base URL to use for dependency resolution. But in the case when you are pushing artifacts to Microcks, you cannot have access to the external references. So we changed things and we added the ability to have a new configuration property that is called default artifacts repository URL, and that can be either an HTTP endpoint or a file endpoint. That way, when now you are pushing artifacts to Microcks via a single upload or via the CLI, and if this configuration parameter is provided, Microcks will try to resolve the dependencies according this specific repository URL. Okay, so in a way, you have best of both worlds. You have this convenience of using a direct upload or directly push your artifacts, but you can also have complex artifacts that makes references to external files. And this is very, very, let's say, convenient to use. Typically on your laptop when you have a Docker Compose setup. And so typically you can imagine having, like here on this use case, having a small HTTP server running on your machine and launched with your dev container of your Docker Compose file, and having Microcks directly use this URL for all the dependency resolution. So that's pretty nice. Or you can, the other way, mount a new volume, a new file volume to your Microcks container, and then simply use the file URL to access this mounted volume. So it allows you, for example, to have your dependencies in a single directory on your machine, mount this directory, this folder into the Microcks pod, and then configure the default artifacts repository URL to reuse this local mount of your repository. So that way, it's pretty easy to have these very fast iterations and importing new specifications, even if those are complex ones. Don't know if you have seen that one, Arsh. So yeah, pretty easy, pretty convenient. Okay, and I think that's it. Maybe yes. Let me filter by Harsh because I think you've done a lot of stuff this release. Okay, so the GraphQL schema introspection, that's okay. The support for Postman collection. Oh, structure versioning. This one is also interesting. You want to say a word about it?
So like previously we are just taking the versioning of Postman collection by the description of it, and like as Postman have suggested that there is another type of structured versioning over there by like, and so we have tried to do the support for this, and so like now we can have both the kind of versioning in Microcks.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, right. Because we met some adapters on the field that were using major plus minor plus patch versioning of their Postman collection, and it doesn't fit well with the Microcks model. So we made this improvement to allow them to reuse their Postman collection as well. And we have this third one that is about filtering the different test runners on the UI. If you want to explain it.
Yeah. So like if like for the launching a test of given like mock or anything, so like if there is no contract attached to that mock or like their specification, so like so this filter will try to uh, remove those mock contracts are not available from the test runner. So like the new user will not get more error, or basically like there is no contract available or anything like this.
Yeah, sure. So it's a nice announcement to avoid a stupid error or people are going too fast on the UI and trying to launch test even if the artifact is not present. So that's the kind of situation we're facing. And okay, and maybe just for closing that part, I wanted also to highlight two different contributions that was made by Christophe Lopez here and Samuel here. And they did really nice contribution to the Open API validation tester. And the nice thing is that those guys are from adopters we just met this week here in Belgium. So shout out to them for using Microcks at scale, but also contributing back once they are finding bugs and fixing them. So really awesome to have this community push and to be aware of new use cases and advanced use cases we didn't figure out at the beginning. And I think that's it for the review of the 1.10.1.
Yeah, that's very cool, and thanks for your contrib, Arsh. You know, that's very amazing that we have been you're able to contribute like that, and really appreciate your commitment and implication on the project. That's really great. And and we hope, by the way, that you're going to keep going, because as you may have noticed, we have new issues, plenty of new ideas, and everything is community driven. So it's great that we are able to work with all the people implicated on it. So we're not going to stream live today. I'm sorry for that. Something we need to dig further, but tool is not working efficiently on low Wi-Fi, it seems. On the other hand, we can share some information as well on what we have done for the latest weeks. For the one who follow us on socials, we've been, let's say, quite active on events for these latest days. I can share you and provide you further details on that. So you should see my screen now. So we've been, for example, last week at Devoxx Belgium, Morocco, sorry. which is so that was the first time for us to join this event in Morocco, and it's just the biggest MIA region event dedicated to developer. So it was very nice for us, and good to be in touch with, let's say, local developers, local company, and we have had great conversations on some Microcks usages and Microcks capabilities in order to enhance some of the application on microservices development lifecycle that some of us companies are working on. So we'll keep you posted on that. There's a new trend and something that has been added from the community to Microcks recently is also the fact that we can mock OpenID Connect. And that's very useful for enterprises who are moving to the cloud or would like to enforce a zero trust, way of accessing application, and that's a very big trend. So it's something we're going to push and communicate more on, because we've noticed as well in Morocco that companies are really struggling with that, and especially integrators or company who would like to develop or move to a full zero trust environment. So stay tuned on this point. We'll communicate more on it, and I think it's a use case where we can really shine. This week, and that's where we are at the moment. We are in Belgium at Devoxx Belgium, so that's just the biggest Java conference in Europe. It's like last year, because the second time we are coming, really amazing. I mean, a lot of people, some very impressive knowledge and expertise. There's some talks who are just amazing. We see the maestro Josh Long yesterday on stage, and it was just amazing. I really recommend you guys to check the video and the recording of his talk, because he's first a showman, but the content was really amazing. So let's stay in touch regarding where we are, what we are communicating on. And a good point is we are very happy as well that some of our community adopters are also sharing that and sharing good news. Yesterday, and we shared that on LinkedIn yesterday. We've been happy to discover that an adopter, which is based in Germany, named Codecentric, I've made a blog post in order to explain. And I mean, from what we know, they're going to do 3 blog posts, by the way. So it's a full story on how to use and leverage Microcks and what they think about it. And it's just amazing. So a big thanks to Codecentric for all the explanation and information they put over here. And a big thanks to Dr. Florent and Sheila, who have written this first part, and we hope that they're going to keep going. That's just amazing. And same day, so yesterday as well, we have been as well surprised that we have another adopter in Sao Paulo. So the good point is that you can see Microcks is global. We have adopters from all over the world, and that's just amazing. So this is a company which is named Banco Pan, quite a big bank in Sao Paulo. And this blog post is in Portuguese, so obrigado to them for having done this written and wrap up. So thanks to Renan on how they are using Microcks, and this time especially for their async API use case and Kafka usages. So you can translate it if you want. The content is amazing, very nice and good feedback. And clearly, what we strongly and really appreciate is the fact that they are, just telling what they are doing with Microcks, what they think about it, and how they have integrated it with, Epicurio, for example, for the design phase and stuff like that. So that's really great.
Yeah.
And
well,
go
just
ahead.
one point here. One thing that is really interesting in this blog post, and we are facing more and more, is that how they succeed in integrating Microcks within their Kafka infrastructure. Because most of the time it's getting more and more common. people are trying to deploy Microcks with pre-existing Kafka infrastructure that is managed by the platform guys with a lot of security restrictions and so on. And it does not always fit well in the picture. And so here they explain how they managed to do that using AWS Lambda, for example, because they were deploying on AWS. But it's really interesting how they finally succeed in finding a way to integrate Microcks within their security constraint regarding Kafka. Pretty interesting. I think it's a design pattern we have to set aside and to reuse with some of that can be useful to some of our adopters as well.
Yeah, clearly, and it's not let's say a trivial setup. As you can imagine, notice everything has been deployed on AWS using AWS services. So that's also very, very great and powerful, and glad that they've been able to make it for their own usages, and working with some of these community adopters who are deploying on AWS also to maybe share and explain to the others how they've been able to make it and set it up. So we hope that we're going to be able to document that and looking for contributors as well to make it happen, because that's quite specific to AWS, and us as let's say community maintainers, we may not be able, let's say, to provide the full details on how to set up Microcks in a production environment like any cloud provider like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. So thanks for the community for making that effort. That's great. And we know that it works, but when it's explained and when they showcase their big setup, it's just amazing. So that's the two blog posts and brand new blog posts that we have had yesterday. And also a reminder that we have a public adopter list, which is on GitHub. If you check Microcks adopters, you'll have a direct access to this file. So here we explain, why it's important and why we care about it. And as a reminder, that's a very important metric for us within the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. In order to level up within the foundation, we need to showcase that we have public adopters, and we are very, very happy to have quite such a nice list these days with very good company, big names, and also amazing usages from any vertical. That's really a very strong demonstration that, let's say, the Microcks approach, multi-protocol approach, is very, very important for those enterprises. And we're going to communicate and express our gratitude to all those companies who are joining the adopter list. We've made some LinkedIn posts on Twitter on Bitso, some on the ONEM, and that's again a very interesting use case because it's a public company in Belgium, and it's not that usual, let's say, in Europe that a big governmental and public entity express what they are doing with open source solution like that. So very, very thankful for them. We met them, by the way, this week at the Devoxx Belgium, and it was a very, very nice conversation, and we're starting to have amazing contribution from them. By the way, and for the record, they are using Microcks and test container heavily. They have not deployed Microcks in a centralized ways on top of Kubernetes so far, maybe on a plan, but it's very, very, let's say, good feedback and good conversations. And we've just received a new adopter yesterday from Catena Clearing. We'll express our gratitude to them, I think, next week, and that's just great. I mean, yet another adopter who is using us in a very, very efficient way. And I had a conversation with Andre yesterday, and he said, I discovered Microcks during your presentation and Laurent's talk at the API Days London. So that's also why we are doing so many events, try to showcase and demonstrate what Microcks is, and do networking as much as we can. And the good point is that it's working efficiently, which is great. So that's it, let's say, for the latest news regarding the communication and feedback and so on. As a reminder, for the one who have not done that already, don't hesitate to click on this small button and give a star on the main repo just over here. It's, again, an important metric for an open source project like us. So feel free to do that if it's not done already. We've made some GitHub action rules, by the way. If you create an issue, you're going to have let's say, a reminder to say, yeah, please, you have not give us a star on this repo so far, do it. Don't hesitate to take a few seconds to make it, because that's very important for us. And last but not least, it's not something that we have, let's say, promoted a lot so far, but we also have an open collective for the adopters, the ecosystem partners who would like, let's say, to help Microcks to keep going as a pure and community-driven project, and that's what we like, that's what we are committed to, and there's entities who can financially contribute to the project in order to help the community. All the money will be spent, in a fully transparent way, and it's only in order to help the community. So we hope that we will have maybe some money at one of time to have more goodies, to provide goodies to all the nice contributors like you, Arsh, and we're gonna be more than happy to send you some stuff as soon as we can. Today we receive 2 contributions. So here you have a few plans and so on. So we have Bitso, who have done a contribution, and we have a Fun, another company who have done another one. So today we have 600 USD on this account, and we hope that we're going to be able to, let's say, receive and collect more to just to help the community and help it to keep going the open source way. So that's it from an update regarding, let's say, the latest event and community stuff. I don't know, let's stop sharing my screen. If we maybe, Laurent, if we can focus maybe on a few minutes regarding the 1.11 version, which is under cooking.
Yeah, yesterday when we talked about the community meeting this morning, yeah, we plan to talk about this, but we expect it to be only 2 of us. So maybe if Arsh, you have some questions, topics, concerns, whatever, it could be, we can just steal this time to have this conversation with you. Depends on if you want to just to grab information about the next release, or if you came with some questions and topics, whatever. What do you think?
So, like currently I don't have any particular question for the next release, but
Okay.
like I'm trying to like give my best for the next release, like how I can
Okay.
contribute to the next release betterly.
That's cool.
Okay,
that's cool.
that's cool.
Like,
Okay,
and
so
also like like I started working like a previous as per our previous conversation, like we have pending work with documentation of async API and all that stuff. So like I was busy
awesome.
yeah, like I was busy with the like OS and all this stuff. So like I'm like I will start to continue with that work, and like will pretty much will improve our documentation, and like with the next list you will definitely find them and documentation page.
That's
Excellent.
great. That's great.
Excellent. That's great. Okay, so maybe yes, let's take a few minutes to go through the backlog for the 1.11, and let me share my screen once again. Okay, this one. Share. That's it. Okay. Now you can see my screen. So just after the 1.10.1 release, I have initialized this 1.11, and there is a new development branch for it. So the development branch is 1.10.x. Okay, we are following the same principle as before, initializing a new development branch for new minor versions. The patch versions and so on will be released from the same branch. And so I already closed some issues because I started very quickly with the heavy duty, you know. So typically, this new release, the 1.11, will be based on Java 21. Okay, so that we can benefit of virtual threads for both the web application and both the async stuff that are, yes, working in the background. So one task that has been already completed is moving to Spring Boot latest GA release. So it's the 3.3.4. And while doing this, we have also checked that everything is still compiling smoothly in native mode. And I still have to do benchmark on this, but I think we had some performance benefits here, something around 5 to 10% regarding the bootstrapped time using a native. So still good. Still good. On my machine, we are around 200 milliseconds. So that's really nice. And
It's a
so the
great
late
improvement, yeah.
Yeah. So still very nice to have this improvement when you are running in test containers, for example. So some milliseconds here and there at the end of the day can count a lot. And the latest big duty was also to upgrade to Quarkus 3.15. So it's the latest long-term support LTS version of Quarkus. And yeah, so already done, and we now have a nice foundation to build the new features for the 1.11. And so for the moment, in the backlog of the 1.11, we have so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 different issues. Some of them are tagged as being a good first one. Okay. For Java people, but also for, I think, UX, UI people. So yeah, typically some bugs we've discovered regarding escape characters, regarding documentation. We still have links in the UI that are referencing URLs from the oldest website. Okay, so we have to move them to avoid 404 errors. And a nice topic for this one is about these two ones. That is parameter constraints, because you may know that in Microcks we have this ability to define parameter constraints. I mean, you can add an extra check saying that this parameter in your REST request is mandatory, or should have this type, or should match a specific regular expression. But at the moment, these parameter constraints are totally decorrelated from the specifications and from the artifacts. Okay, they can be just applied in a second time after you have uploaded everything and using either the UI or the API. And so one thing we'd like to have is having this parameter constraint that could be directly initialized from the information we get in the artifact specification. So typically, if a parameter is required in the OpenAPI spec, it will have a required parameter constraint. Pretty obvious. But we would like also having this ability to define a parameter constraints into API metadata file. Okay, so just beside the dispatcher rules we are able to define in metadata files, we would like also to be able to have these specific constraints directly in the metadata file. Okay, so these are a few improvements that can be also, yes, maybe tagged as good first issues, depends on your level in Java, but yeah, we'll see. I think it's could be a really nice enhancement for the 1.11 to have this this synchronization between things we have in the contract and the parameter constraints. Yeah, one thing of interest that is not yet in the roadmap because it is worked by a guy in the community, and we have for the moment no commitment it will be delivered on time for the 1.11, is that yes, we are working of adding async API support for IBM MQ. Okay, IBM MQ has a valid async API binding for a long time, and we have adopters in corporate banks, in financial services as well, who are still using IBM MQ or WebSphere MQ. Depends on the version, and the naming depends on the version. So they're still using them for communicating with legacy system and with mainframes and so on. So could be a really nice addition to have this support. And so you can, as you can see, it has been open for a very long time. Okay, but nobody was able to pick it up, and so it's another case. And we have one people who starts working on that, and could be a really nice addition for the 1.11 version. So feel free to watch it. And one last thing is that like for the other previous version, we opened a global issue, let's say, to collect maybe small contributions here and there that are very easy to start with if you want to contribute to Microcks. So these are related to code style, to small code smells, quality issues that are tracked using Sonar. So typically we are using Sonar Cloud to track some quality issues or quality styles issues. And it can be very easy to check, for example, from the open issues here. You see there is a lot of issues. They are rated with different difficulty, severity levels, high, medium, low. So if you want to contribute to Microcks, could be very easy to just, yes, as your first issues, have a check at the different low ones, okay, and see here, for example, we have a unused import, okay. So by the way, if you want just to contribute small things, but the first thing, you can just pick it up, remove this import and send a PR. We will attach it to this issue so that we know it is related to this quality related issue. And yeah, it will be a pleasure to merge this and to improve our score on the code smell side of things, let's say. So really easy to start with, and if you want to contribute, do not hesitate.
Yeah, and that's great as well, way to easy contribute, as you said, Laurent. But it's also very important because we are doing a lot of effort, to let's say enhance the code smell, take care about, of course, security. We really care about that, and there's a few contribution to do on that as well, but also improve and take care about the project maintenance and project health. And that's clearly critical. And so any contribution on that, as Laurent said, this one is very easy to do, but it has a big impact at the end because we really would like to improve that.
Yeah, and as you can see, we have already done big improvements and big fixes. So here again, with the 1.10.1 release, yeah, we removed a lot of issues. We enhanced also the coverage a lot. I think regarding duplications, we are stable. Oh no, we removed some duplications, so still low on this, but yeah, still a lot to do. And when I'm reviewing or introducing new features on the existing code, of course, I'm fixing the existing issues, but not have the time to go through all the historical ones on code that doesn't move. So, but for newcomers, it could be really a nice onboarding task if you want to contribute to Microcks. So that's cool. So I think that's it for what we planned in the 1.11 for the moment. Don't know if you have any questions, and let me know.
No, not currently.
And
Cool.
maybe a question for you, Arch, because as you have noticed, I mean, having contributors and new contributors like you is great and amazing for the project. And again, thanks for that. But can you tell us if let's say the onboarding process on how you've been able to join the community was easy, smooth forward, and if there is anything we can improve, for example, what Laurent showed today on Code Smell, I think it's certainly something we need to document and broadly share to everybody who would like just to contribute on, let's say, easy task to start with and to understand how the project is working. But if you have any ideas and feedback on that, please let us know, because that's important.
Sure. Like there are many contributors or like in my circle over there, and like I'm trying to sharing with the projects and like ideas or with them also, like, and how they can like how I can include them with the micros and all that stuff. And like I'm also trying to share with my Twitter circle all the stuff, so like we can get more contributors for this. And like we have more contributors, but like we have to spread it out more, and like then it might get more buzz over there.
Sure, that's very cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's great for this conversation, and thanks for joining us. I hope that you're going to be able to come for the next one, as you may have noticed, certainly, but we'll advertise it, more broadly. Let's say
Yeah.
we have two community meeting once every 2 weeks, so we're going to do two per month, and different for different time zone. Let's say one is more for let's say friendly regarding the hour for Europe, and the other one, this one going to be, I hope, more friendly for you and people in the US, for example. So we're going to keep going, advertise it more often. We're going to sort out the streaming issue and maybe change the tool as well. We'll see. I'll tell you, Laurent, what I discovered, but that's another story.
Yeah, and I think I also received a message from Hugo, and Hugo has also issues connecting. He received the same message that me, that this was marked as a private meeting on the Linux Foundation website, and he was not able to connect. So
Yeah,
I think we also have an issue on the Linux Foundation website as well.
Yeah,
Because,
I think
because
I think there is one invitation link which will be shared by LFX maybe,
there is what,
because
sorry?
there is one invitation link on LFX, like Linux Foundation, and like
Yeah.
after, like I also tried to join with this only.
So how did you join, by the way? Did you click? Because I sent a screenshot a few days ago.
No, like I got one link. I like I there is one button to get the invitation on email, and
Yeah.
like I got the invitation, and through that link I have joined.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah. Because there's two
Like
way
maybe
to register.
so
You
like
can
maybe
register to
it
the.
will work.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, like so maybe that was the way to join the meet.
Yeah. Yeah, there's two way to join. You can, if you have, and it's. I mean, if you would like to come more often and contribute to CNCF and Linux Foundation, you need to have an account on the Linux Foundation website, and so you need to register to the community meeting you would like to attend, like us, or you just click, but meeting by meeting, on send me an invite. So that's two different
Okay,
process. The
okay,
first one is great because you can register to all the Microcks community meeting in a single shot, and just add that to your Google Calendar. The other one need to be per request per meeting. And it's something that I mean, we are also discovering this process, to be honest, because we launched it a few weeks ago. So we'll test it by yourself more and explain in more details how it works, so then everybody can join. And why we also would like to live stream is because there's people who cannot, or I mean, join the meeting, so they can see it live if they don't want to interact and just see what the community is dealing about. So it's two different ways to share the information, but it's going to be very important that people like you would like to come and chat are able to do it in a very smooth way. So it's not as easy as sharing, let's say, a Zoom link, and unfortunately, we cannot do it directly through the Linux Foundation way of managing Zoom. So, but work in progress, and going to be better for the next one, of course.
Sure. Okay.
All right. So
start is always difficult. Like the starting part is always difficult.
for everything. So we're going to practice more on this point. So that's great that you've been able to join us. We're very thanks for that. And again, thanks for your contribution. And we'll keep going and see you on Discord. We know that you are with us on Discord. And otherwise, see you in next month for the next community meeting on your time frame.
Yeah.
Or if you would like to join the other, by the way, feel free. You can do it twice a month, up to you.
Of course.
But
yeah,
more than happy to have you in any case.
Definitely.
All right, so we're going to close this one, and Laurent and I are going to go back to Devoxx Belgium, when we're going to again share, network, and learn new stuff.
Have a great day, Harsh.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. A good day.
Bye-bye, friends. Bye.
Thank you, Yasin. Thank you, Laurent.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.